What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Hump Day Wednesday so far. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I'm bringing you some recap of the New York Mets game yesterday as they began their 7-game homestand against the Washington Nationals down at Citifield. And let's just say it was absolutely not, the best start for this homestand for the New York Mets, who yesterday, I don't know what happened to them, but the New York Mets ended up getting shut out by Josiah Gray of the Washington Nationals, and the Mets lose yesterday their third straight game by the final score of 5-0, as they were pretty much taken out of the game completely, only having 5 hits overall by the New York Mets, and they only had 4 hits off of Gray, who pitched 6 innings of 9 strikeout, 1 walk ball, and only 4 hits overall. And then Thompson came in for 3 innings and pretty much only gave up 1 hit, and he struck out 4. The New York Mets bats were as quiet can be. In fact, the only players that got at least 1 hit was, of course, Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, Daniel Vogelbach, Brett Beatty, and Francisco Alvarez. Everybody else on the team didn't get 1 single hit at all in the game, including Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil, who are still up and down with the bat so far. And of course, Jose Butto, who had to take over starting yesterday for the New York Mets because of the injuries to Carrasco, Verlander, and Quintana, and of course the suspension to Max Scherzer, he pretty much had to take over in a spot start for the New York Mets yesterday, and he was not good. He was not good at all. He only pitched in 4 2/3 innings, giving up 4 hits overall. He also gave up 1 home run to Ruiz all the way back in the bottom of the top of the 2nd inning. He only struck out 1 batter. He gave up 6 walks and 2 earned runs and 4 hits in only 4 2/3 innings. And let's just be real, the bullpen for the most part didn't do much better, as Jacob Yacobonis, who came in right after Butto, he also struggled in the game. He gave up 6 hits and 3 earned runs, but he did strike out 3 overall right after Butto made his exit. It was a mess of a game overall for the New York Mets. Defensively, offensively, pitching-wise, nothing this team did at all yesterday made sense. Nothing that this team did overall yesterday was good at all. Nothing that this team tried to display on that game yesterday was worth turning on the television and really staying tuned with it, because this team is just absolutely dreadful the entire time. The only positive I can really take out of it is that at least Beatty and Alvarez maybe, just maybe, starting to get their bats going a little bit. And of course, Tommy Hunter and Adam Ottavino continue to pitch very well out of the bullpen. Well, at least Ottavino. Hunter's not been great, but Ottavino continues to pitch pretty well out of the bullpen. The Mets have now lost 3 straight. That's the negative right now. The Mets lost 3 straight games overall. And what has happened to this baseball team? That's the question right now. The Mets, who are coming off a very impressive homestand, got off to pretty much one of the worst starts you can imagine to against the Washington Nationals team that is 8-14 and is arguably one of, if not the worst team in the National League so far. So we'll have to wait and see what we can get from this New York Mets team going forward, because right now it's ugly. They weren't crisp anywhere. Even Buck Showalter said in terms of the loss yesterday, we weren't really crisp yet defensively tonight. Buck Showalter talks about the play with Luis Guillorme, where he moved in the wrong direction on a ground ball, and the Mets' defensive issues tonight. You're not going to win these baseball games if you're going to play sloppy in the field. You're not going to win these baseball games if you're not going to be able to hit bad pitching of the Nationals, and you're not going to be able to win these games if you can't pitch well in these games. So, overall, I'm wanting to know when this New York Mets team is going to start righting the ship again, because they've had 2 losses already back to back to the Giants, who are not a great team so far this year, and then obviously you had the loss last night to the Nationals to kick off this homestand. Mets need to start regrouping themselves and at least try to get back on the right track going forward, because that was a rough loss last night. And hopefully this New York Mets team can get it going back into the right direction and get back on their winning ways going into the rest of this week, obviously, because you have the Atlanta Braves coming up later this week, and that's going to be a big-time series immediately just to open the season with the Braves and the Nationals. The Braves and the Mets. So hopefully the Mets can bounce back today. You got Kodai Senga, who for the most part has been the best pitcher on this team pretty much since the beginning of the season. He's going to have to go out there and put out an impressive performance for the Mets, take care of business against this Washington Nationals team, and get the Mets back on the winning ways and try to find a way to help this team snap this 3-game losing streak that they are currently on and get back to at least their winning ways, because right now they're 14-10 on the season. And I believe they're a game and a half trailing the Atlanta Braves overall. So hopefully the New York Mets can get back on their winning ways, pull out the victory tonight with Kodai Senga on the mound, and the Mets can be able to up their record to 15-10 and take care of business against a Washington Nationals team is really not that good. Like I said, you can't get 5 hit by the Washington Nationals right now. I know it's baseball. I know it's baseball is usually a season of up and down strings, peaks and valleys. You're going to get this all the time. Obviously, the Mets played well previously before this. Now they're going towards the downtrod of this. So hopefully they can turn it around going forward into the rest of this week. And the last 2 games against the Nationals, and obviously their series against the Braves. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and give a sub to NYG Jeffy T85. More news updates and chatter surrounding the New York Mets. Turn on the bell for notifications and game recaps surrounding the New York Mets. Turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Mets. And you guys let me know in the comment section what you think about the New York Mets loss last night to the Washington Nationals and your state of the Mets as they get ready to play the second of their 3-game road trip against the homestand against the Washington Nationals with Kodai Senga on the mound at Citifield this evening/tonight. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Hump Day Wednesday. Take it easy and let's go New York Mets as always. All you got to do is you got to believe in those boys from Queens.